we're going to be doing What If Deku Was Depressed slash Had a Quirk Part 3. Let's get straight to this video. We last left off where Izuku Midoriya won and dominated Katsuki Bakugo in Hero vs. Villains exam. And we're going to time skip. Ever since then, Bakugo has just been angry. He's just been angry beyond belief. But instead of whining and crying, he decided to train. He decided to push past his limits. He decided to train harder than Deku, that useless, weak, useless nerd. When they were little, he used to be a pebble, a small rock that he could just play with and use however he wanted. But no, he turned into this beast, this person who could one-shot him at any time but chooses not to. So Bakugo decided to train. He decided to train and train some more. And Todoroki saw the immense power gap between him, Izuku, and Bakugo. So Todoroki decided to train as well. Todoroki decided to train with his ice and fire at the same time. Todoroki's ice has become more denser. Bakugo has learned a P-shot, and also the Howitzer impact. And he has made a lot more moves that I will describe in the USJ. And Todoroki has came up with the Flash Fire Heat Wave, the Fire Fist, all that stuff. And Izuku is able to control Black Whip, but he does not know how. He just thinks that it's an evolution of One For All, that it condensed itself into a whip of sorts. So Izuku has decided to watch Spider-Man and play the Spider-Man games, and also train with Aizawa, and Aizawa doesn't know of One For All. So he decided to train with Aizawa to learn how to use Black Whip more efficiently. And yes, he does watch Spider-Man, so yeah, he can swing like Spider-Man too. He can swing like Spider-Man, and has the agility of Spider-Man, but he's way more stronger than Spider-Man. And also his sword has gotten more stronger. It is very, very, very dense. Nobody can practically break it, not even Cementos, with all of his pillars and stuff. It can't even break it. And also Izuku has been training in hand-to-hand combat. He's been training in Genjutsu, Taijutsu, Dojutsu, ATA, and all that other good stuff. Self-defense, offense, all that good stuff. So basically, Todoroki, Bakugo, and Izuku are the strongest in the class. Ida is in the running fourth. Kirishima is in like the fourth. Ida is the fifth. And Izuku is just being normal Izuku. Kendo has checked on Izuku once in a while. Izuku is opening up to Kendo a little more since Aizawa told him to open up. Since Aizawa does not want Izuku to be like himself. So let's get out of narrator POV. Alright class, today we're going to be going to the USJ. As everybody was about to get excited, but Aizawa stopped them by saying, "No, it is not the universal yada yada. It's a training facility for the future heroes. Danger scenarios that we used on my previous generation, and now we're gonna use it again. Everybody get on your hero suits, let's go. Endeavor, the #1 hero, will be coming with us on this trip today." And as everybody was excited because Endeavor is a nice guy in this one. Endeavor was a bit salty about All Might being the #1 hero, but ever since All Might told him to be the best #1 hero he could be, he decided to change his ways and is not a bad dad. But Dabi still became a villain. And Endeavor knows about this, so he's been trying to track down Dabi, but aka Toya Todoroki. If you guys didn't know that, sorry. But yeah, let's get into this. As Izuku was sitting alone on the bus, and as everybody was talking about their quirks, and then as Sue asked Midoriya, "Hey, Izuku, Ribbit," as Izuku looked up at Sue with dull eyes, and as he said, "What is it? What do you want, Sue?" As Sue was a bit frightened, but not that much. "So, I can see a lot of similarities between you and All Might's quirks. Can you explain that for me, Rabbit?" "Well, we do have a lot of aspects of our quirk is the same, but you have to remember, um, his quirk, his quirk buffs up his muscles. My quirk only gives me an enhanced speed, strength, and durability, and also it can condense itself into a little whip. I can use it to swing around, grab people, grab opponents, everything like that. So it's not really much of me and All Might just have the same strength enhancing quirk, I guess. Or same strength aspect of our quirks. Sorry if I annoyed you, Izuku Ribbit. Don't worry, you didn't." And yes, Izuku has started to open up to rest of Class 1A except Bakugo. Him and Todoroki are kind of friends, kind of sort of. Um, I hate to be doing this, but Ren was a terrible mother. Endeavor tried to talk to her about tried to ask her why, but she was just abusive towards Todoroki. She's just a terrible mother, and she actually did pour still poured hot boiling water on Todoroki's face, and he still has the scar. So Todoroki and Izuku they are the same in more ways than one. But they give small glimpses at each other, and they talk to each other in their little own way. He says hey, Todoroki says hey back. He asks if you want to train. Todoroki nods his head. They train for a little bit. They're good friends. They're actually good friends, since they can relate to each other. So let's skip to when they get to the USJ. As they meet the Pro Hero 13, and Endeavor is also there too. As they go through a couple of hero versus villain scenarios, and then as everybody was pumped up, and then as Kirishima said, "Wow, you guys even have fake villains here? That's so awesome!" As Endeavor 13 and Aizawa look down at the center of the USJ, but those weren't fake villains. Those were real. As Aizawa said, "13, protect the kids. Endeavor, you know what to do." As Endeavor and Aizawa start to do quick succession of all of the villains, and as Shigaraki was scratching his neck saying, "Cheater, cheater, 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 cheater. This wasn't supposed to go. This wasn't how it was supposed to go." And then as All For One telepathically said to Shigaraki, "Calm down, Tomura. It's okay. I have a plan." Kurogiri, warp the three Nomos. As three Nomos stepped out, they all look identical to one another, but they don't have the same strength, except for the normal USJ Nomu. But I'm gonna buff him up a lot. And as Aizawa erased, air quotes on erased, one of the Nomu's quirks, and then as Eraser, and as Endeavor said, "Fire Fist!" Sorry if I don't sound as energetic as I used to. My throat is really sore right now because puberty is really hitting me hard. So yeah, I'm I'm in a lot of pain. Well, not in a lot of pain. It's just my throat hurts, but not all that much. And I am going to be doing a lot of YouTube videos since I just have a lot on my mind. So, but anyway, let's get back into this video. As Endeavor used Fire Fist and took care of one of the Nomus with total ease, and so he did that to the other as well. There was no real problem with the number 2 and 3 Nomus, but the USJ Nomu was really hard. As Aizawa as Aizawa erased the Nomu's quirk, but the Nomu saw what Aizawa was trying to do. He rushed at Aizawa with blinding speed, slammed Aizawa's head into the ground, and causing him to bleed. As Endeavor said, "Leave him alone, you villain! Spider web!" I think that's what he calls it. I'm not sure. But as he cut the Nomu into little tiny pieces, but the Nomu started to regenerate as fast as the eye can see, and as he stomped Aizawa into the ground, knocking him out, as he grabbed Endeavor by the throat and slammed him to the ground, punching him rapidly. He was punching him so hard and so fast, nobody was able to see the movements of the Nomu. And as the Nomu made two clones of himself, and as the two clones was holding Endeavor by his, as 2 and 3 Nomus were holding Endeavor by his arms, the number one Nomu just started wailing on, uh, Endeavor. And if you're wondering, Kurogiri did stop Ida from going to get the heroes, and 13 did get injured in the process as well, and they all did get split up. The only ones who were still there was Izuku, Bakugo, Todoroki, Kirishima, and Ida. They were all of them were still there. As Izuku saw what happened to Eraserhead, and as he was about to go, but 13 stopped him and said, "You can't go. I was told to keep you safe." As Izuku kneeled down and said to 13, "It's okay. I'll take it from here." Todoroki. As Izuku's skin crawled when he said Bakugo. Bakugo. Let's go. Kirishima, Ida, you come as well. We'll have to defeat this Nomu by ourselves. What? Are you crazy, Izuku? Ida said that. No, I'm not crazy. I know with our combined efforts, we are the 4 strongest people in the class, at least where we stand right now. I know I won't be able to do this by myself. I'm gonna need your guys' help. As Izuku's skin crawled again when he was about to say please. And then as Kirishima put his hand on Izuku's shoulder, and then as he said, "No problem. We'll be happy to help you." As Izuku lightly smiled, and then as he said, "Good. I knew I could count on you guys." And also, Kirishima is super strong, super strong. He's kind of like the armor titan. As soon as he goes into, even in his regular base form, he is super strong. He is very strong, like the armor titan in Attack on Titan. Like his skin is very strong, and when he goes unbreakable, you're gonna have one tough time trying to break his skin. He can handle about 5% of Deku's punches, but not for very long. He could keep the unbreakable form for about, let's say, 2 hours. But if the opponent is strong enough, he can hold it. He can hold it for about 10 minutes. 10 minutes or 20 minutes. As Izuku and Bakugo Todoroki jump down, and then as Ida and Kirishima jumped down as well. As everybody regrouped around 13, and then as Izuku started to explain the plan, Ida, run in circles, try to distract the Nomu. Kirishima, punch the Nomu as hard as you can. Bakugo, do what you do best. Todoroki, freeze the Nomu in place, try to get it distracted. Also, shoot a lot of fire. Me, I'll be with Kirishima. We'll punch it as hard as we can. And Ida, kick. Let's do this. As they all ran in, Ida running around the Nomu trying to distract it, but the Nomu was pretty fast in its own right, so it was catching up to Ida in quick pace. But Todoroki is able to stop it with an ice attack, which was able to freeze the Nomu. And as Izuku used about 25% of One for All and knocked the Nomu clean in half, but they knew it wasn't over as the Nomu regenerated quickly and went for Izuku, but Bakugo threw an AP shot right at the Nomu's head, destroying it. Endeavor was knocked out at this point. He was badly beaten and bloodied and bruised, and so was Aizawa in 13 as well. And everybody else was facing their own villains, so they didn't have time to help out the four that are fighting right now. And as Kirishima stepped in and punched the Nomu square in the chest, making it fly back a few feet. As the Nomu screeched on the top of his lungs, sounding like Ichigo when he's in his devil form. He created about four clones. And also, this Nomu is able to adapt to anybody. All for One gave it an adapting quirk, which basically means it can adapt to the person's speed, strength, and durability and match that 15 times over. As each of the Nomu ran towards one of the other, and Izuku was fighting the big bad. And then as All for One spoke through the Nomu, "So, you're All Might's son / successor, Izuku Yagi, aka Izuku Midoriya." As Izuku's eyes widened, and then as he heard who was talking, he recognized that sinister, dark, ugly voice. And then as Izuku said, "All for One." "Yep, it's me. It is me. I can't wait to see you die. And I'm gonna be personally controlling this Nomu, so you better get ready. Because this Nomu is way more powerful than All Might." And as Izuku started to smirk and laugh a little bit, or should I say chuckle, he started to chuckle a little bit, and then as he said, "I am stronger than All Might." As Izuku rushed at the Nomu with 70% One for All, and started just to wail on the Nomu, and also slash it a couple of times as well. As he summoned his katana and started just to wail, just slash, completely obliterate the Nomu. The Nomu's healing factor was getting pretty worn out, but it was still able to keep up, with All for One controlling it. Unfortunately, Bakugo, Todoroki, Kirishima, and Ida were unfortunately knocked out. So as Izuku was about to finish off the Nomu, one of the clone Nomus punched Izuku, sending him flying across the USJ. As he was surprised, then as he got back up to see Ida, Bakugo, Todoroki, and Kirishima knocked out, and everybody else unconscious as well. As he looked at his fist and charged up 80% of One for All, as his hair started to spike up a little bit, and then as he formed a black whip around his arms and legs, a form of protection, if you will. And as you can hardly see his eyes, as you can see in the picture right here. "I don't care if there's 1,000,000 of you. I'll kill you all!" As Izuku rushed towards all of the Nomus, one of the Nomus tried to sneak attack behind Izuku, but Izuku was easily able to dodge the Nomu, but one of the Nomus punched Izuku in the face, sending him flying across the USJ. But Izuku quickly got back up and stepped towards one of the Nomus, sliced its head off, killing it instantly and making it disappear. As he turned his back and saw as he saw the three Nomus left. "Let's do this. Bring it on!" As he rushed towards the Nomu, using 90% of One for All this time, full cowling, as his body started to break apart, but Izuku didn't care. As one of the Nomus punched Izuku right in the chest, but Izuku powered through the pain and slashed one of the Nomu's arms off. And as though one of the other Nomus tried to attack Izuku, but Izuku saw it from the corner of his eye, dodged, and slashed upwards, cutting it in half. upwards. And as both of the normals disappeared, there are two more normals left, and Izuku thought this would be light work. But then, as the first normal started to summon more clones, as Izuku was getting pretty tired, but he he used all of his strength to defeat all of the Nomus. He could only go up to about 90% without breaking his bones immediately. So Izuku kept it at 90%. As Izuku had a black eye, a broken arm, and one of his eyes. The black eye, it was completely missing. You couldn't see it. And Izuku was just drooling. He was drooling. He looked like a feral beast. Some people woke up, but they were too injured or just too terrified at the sight they saw. They saw blood everywhere. There was just a massacre down there. As Izuku was breathing heavily, sweat dripping down his face, drool dripping out of his mouth, as he slowly got up and walked towards the normal, and as he started to run faster. As he started to cover more of black whip on his arms and legs, and then as he rushed towards the normal, as he bent his arm back in place, and you did his final attack. His final attack is just basically covering all of his basically he's gonna use 1000% of One For All in his sword and use a 100% of One For All in his legs. As he said out loud, "It's time to finish this! One for all! 1000%! It's all Resetsu!" Basically, if you don't know what the Ito Resetsu is, it's basically called a demon strike. Demon strike. So it's all it is in Japanese terms, anyway. Ito Resetsu, the demon strike. And then as both of the Nomus were just instantly gone, nothing, not even dust were remaining of them. And then as Kurogiri and Shigaraki were already gone, and as the rest of the heroes came and they saw Izuku's state, they were horrified. Some of them started to throw up, and as Izuku fell unconscious. And no, I'm not gonna leave it here. I'm gonna continue. This time skip to about 2 weeks. Over these 2 weeks, Izuku has been unconscious. And no, he still hasn't been able to talk to the previous users of One For All. He's been blocking them out through... It's not really purposefully, it's just accidentally. Because he's blocking out his past trauma, so he's blocking out the users of One For All, trying to talk to him, trying to teach him, trying to get in touch with him, especially All Might. It's just like a mental thing. He's trying to block everybody out of his mind so he can focus more on being a hero, a cold-blooded hero. So as Izuku woke up, and he did miss the UA Sports Festival. If you're wondering who won, it was Todoroki. The reason why I say Todoroki is he has way more endurance and way more endurance now, and Bakugo has been doing bone training, but he still hasn't gotten to that perfect level of bone training, so his arms eventually started to bleed and get tired, and Todoroki started to get a little frostbite, but he can obviously just melt the frostbite with his, or heat up his body temperature with his fire side, so Todoroki won the match. Third place was Kirishima. As Izuku was a little disappointed that he missed the sports festival, but, he didn't really care too much about that. He didn't want to show off his powers anyway. Because of that, he didn't really get any offers except from Gran Torino. He didn't really know who that was, but he took all of the offers he can get. Hold on a second. I'll be back. Since that is all since that all he's got for his hero offers. Oh, and Aizawa did tell him about the internships. So since Izuku didn't get anybody else, he decided why not. As Izuku was still recovering a little bit, but Izuku did get the scar in canon, and also his eye is completely gone, so he kind of looks like Zoro, with with his scar in his arm, and also with the scar in his hand, and also his scar on his chest that looks like Luffy, that resembles Luffy's scar. Basically, he looks like himself, but mixed with a little Zoro, because his eye is completely gone, and also a big slash mark on his chest, which represents Luffy. As Izuku got towards Gran Torino's house, and then as he saw what Izuku originally saw in canon, but he knew that he was faking it. Hey, old man, I know that you're faking it. And then as Gran Torino got up and said, "You're good, kid. So, you're the successor of One for All, huh?" As Izuku was about to summon his katana, but as Gran Torino said, "Don't worry, I'm not an enemy or anything." And then he showed a picture of him and Toshinori and Nana Shimura. I used to be one of Toshinori's guardians or mentors or senseis, whatever you want to call them, or me. Who is the other woman? Izuku asked, wanting to know more about Toshinori, aka All Might, aka his father. Her name is Nana Shimura. She was like a mother to him. As Izuku sat down and as Toshinori understood what Izuku wanted. So as Toshinori talked about All Might's past, as Izuku started to tear up a little bit. He went through so much. I guess that's why he understood me and adopted me. As Izuku started to smile and also cry, as Gran Torino hugged Izuku and said, "It's okay, kid. I miss him too. But he's in a better place now." As Izuku started to cry harder and Gran Torino started to tear up. After Izuku stopped crying, "So, kid, how much of One for All can you control?" "About 90%. I've I haven't been able to I haven't been able to train because of my injuries, but my injuries have gotten better and I've been healing up pretty fine, so I'm able to still use about 90% of One for All. And also, I've One for All has evolved somehow. It's able to condense itself into a whip sort type. It's able to turn into a whip. I just call it Black Whip. As Izuku activated a little bit of Black Whip. "Wow, kid, you're strong. Looks like I don't need to train you, huh?" "But yeah, you kinda do. Uh, can you train me how to be more outgoing?" "Yeah, sure, kid." And then as his phone started to ring, 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 as he saw it was Kendo. And then as he picked up, "Hello? Yes, Kendo?" "Ah, Izuku! I didn't think you were gonna pick up." "Of course I was gonna pick up. You're my friend." As Kendo started to blush over the phone. "Anyway, uh, how's your internship going so far?" "It's going good. How is yours?" It's going, it's not going all that good. Um, all I'm doing is photo shoots. I'm not really doing anything else." "With your classmate Momo Yaozu?" "Yeah, that's my classmate. Don't really know her that much, but she seems nice." "Is she nice?" "Yeah, she's nice, but she's a little embarrassed to be on TV." "I can get that." "Hey, kid, you ready?" I'm sorry, Kendo, I have to go." Izuku, can you do me a favor?" "Yeah, what is it?" Can you can you call me by my first name, please?" As Izuku started to blush, and then as he said, "Why?" Well, because I'm calling you by your first name, so wouldn't it be fair if you started to call me by my first name? As Izuku started to blush, and Gran Torino could see that, so he kept quiet for now. And then as Izuku said, Itsuka. Izuku was blushing redder than Kirishima's hair right about now, and as Kendo was beyond happy, she was ecstatic. And they ended the call. They said their farewells and ended the call. As Gran Torino said to Izuku, "Ah, so you have a lady friend, huh? Is she your girlfriend?" No, at least not yet, anyway. And plus, uh, she wouldn't like me. I'm just a dull, ugly, depressing guy. She wouldn't like me. As Gran Torino kicked Izuku in the head, and then as Izuku said, "Ow! What's that for?" Come on, kid. You should know better by now. Not everybody is mean or is out to get you. You gotta take a chance, take a risks. If All Might didn't take a chance, where would he be? I don't know. Exactly. He took a chance, and look where he ended up. He became the symbol of peace for the whole entire world, not just Japan, but for everybody. I know, and I'm grateful for him for that. Let's skip to somewhere else. This is getting boring. I'm tired of killing fake heroes with no power, just weak ones. I wonder what I should do now. Ah! As Stain fell into the League of Villains space. As he landed on his feet, and then as he looked around, and then as he saw Shigaraki. Huh. So you're the League of Villains leader, I presume. No, but, I'm in second in command. Nice to meet you, Stain the hero killer. As they had the same argument and conversation as they did in canon. And as Stain said no, as he did in canon. So, Shigaraki was upset and decided to raise a little bit of chaos. And he did so. And, you know, Ida's brother still got attacked by Stain. Ida is stronger than he is in canon. He can run pretty fast, but not faster than Izuku. But they're not neck and neck, but they are, he is kind of fast. But not as fast as Izuku, but he is there. As Izuku saw Ida, and then as Izuku knew what he was doing because he heard it on the news. Gosh, Ida, what are you doing? Gran Torino. Yeah, what is it, Izuku? Do I have permission to use my quirk? As Izuku did a voice recording. Then as Gran Torino smiled and said, I give Izuku Midoriya permission to use his quirk to its fullest extent. As the the voice recording ended. As Izuku rushed towards Ida with 15% of One For All and saw Ida about to get killed. As he used 5% of One For All since he thought that was what it would take to defeat Stain. Smash! And knocked Stain to the wall. Stain pretended to be unconscious, and then as Ida said, What are you doing here? This is my fight. Go away. Ida, shut up. As Izuku punched Ida in the face, as Ida was very surprised. What are you doing? What do you think you're doing? Revenge isn't the right way. Not right now. Stain is stronger than you, and you know that. But you still took every ounce of judgment you had and threw it out the window just for what? Revenge? Revenge? Huh? You want to die out here in some thirsty alleyway just for revenge? Would your brother want you to die for him? Would he? As Ida started to cry and realized that he made a stupid decision, but he didn't care. he still wanted to fight Stain. And then as Stain got up and said, "Ah, you're a true hero. I can see that in your eyes. Even though they look pretty dull, you still want to protect hero. You still want to be a hero and protect everybody. Villains, heroes, and I mean everybody. So, I'll give you one chance. Walk away. Let me kill this fake hero." Ida's not a fake hero. He was just blinded by rage and grief that you caused him, and I'm here to repay that debt. It's such a shame that I have to kill a future hero. Thank you for the compliment. Now, I would love to take you down. Stay the hero killer? And that's where I'm going to be leaving it off, guys. Make sure you like, subscribe, turn on those notifications so you know I'm going to be posting my next video, which is going to be very, very soon. If this video does good, I'll do it. But I'll do it either if my video does well or not. I just love doing these types of things. So, I love you guys, and peace. Bye.